Oh my goodness, what did I just wake up to? Let's talk about it right now. Well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watt2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So I was going to come on today and maybe do a little recap on the Knicks and the Rangers. Knicks extend their winning streak to 8 games with a rousing victory over the Golden State Warriors at home. No Steph Curry in the lineup, but the Knicks did what they had to do. Jalen Brunson is amazing. Thought about talking about the Rangers. Unfortunately, they fall in Pittsburgh last night, which basically came down to 3 things. Tristan Jarry playing great goal for Pittsburgh, special teams completely failing, and the absolute embarrassing no-call trip by the referees when Mika Zibanejad was taken down with 45 seconds. It was such an obvious trip. I think Zibanejad had his passport in his pocket. It was absolutely ridiculous. But we're going to put all that aside. All of that. No, we're not going to talk about that. I can't even talk about the Jets right now. There'll be plenty of Jets content coming soon. I promise you. But right now, we got to talk about the New York Mets. Are you kidding me? Carlos Correa. I go to sleep last night about 11:30, 12 o'clock, not expecting any news whatsoever. Now, Correa had already agreed in principle to a contract with the San Francisco Giants. 13 years, $350 million. At that time, it was going to be the 4th largest deal in history of Major League Baseball. And to me, I wasn't devastated. I never felt Correa was a realistic target for the New York Mets, considering they have numerous prospects who are very good at third base, and Francisco Lindor obviously has shortstop locked up for the next decade. But then you have Brett Beatty, Ronnie Mauricio, who can play third base, who can play the left side of the infield, really. Mark Vientos, to me, is either a first baseman or a DH. But, I mean, I like Beatty, and I really wanted him to get an opportunity this year. So, to me, I just didn't see how it worked. But in the back of my mind, I knew that this team was one bat short. While the Mets have absolutely improved their pitching by leaps and bounds, where was the protection for Pete Alonso? Where was that additional bat? Because, you got to admit it. The Braves, the Phillies, and now throw in the Dodgers, throw in the Padres, clearly have deep lineups, much deeper than what the Mets were. Well, that all changed this morning, sometime between when I went to bed and when I woke up at 7:30 in the morning, and my phone has about 15 messages between Facebook, Twitter, and texts. From Yankee fans, from Mets fans, from all over the place. And it was absolutely stunning to me that this deal with Correa, number one, fell through. We'd heard about the press conference being delayed because of some kind of medical issue, which gives you some pause because Correa has missed some time in his career with medical issues. There's been a finger thing. There's been a rib thing. I know he's had some back issues, although those haven't really propped up in a couple of years now. But it is agreed to now. It is a 12-year, $310 million contract. So instead of the 4th largest deal in baseball history, Correa now has merely the 10th largest deal. Way to save money. So, but here's the thing with these contracts. A lot of people are going to talk about all the money the Mets are signing, and it's absolutely true. The payroll, as I understand right now, is about $388 million. When you factor in the luxury tax and all that entails, that's going to be another $140 million plus. So this team is going to cost Steve Cohen over $500 million. That's just the way it is. But remember, not a lot of these contracts are long-term investments. And when I say that, I mean past 5 years. Okay, Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, and now Correa are now signed through past 2029. But that's really it. But to talk about Correa for a little bit. Now, the one concern I have is the defense because he's only played one professional game at third base, and that was back in 2015 with the Astros AA affiliate. But he's only 28 years old. Last year with Minnesota, he batted .291, 22 home runs, a 140 WRC plus. Now, that's wins, runs created plus, which measures every league hitter by an average of 100. So the 140 basically means he's 40% better than the average hitter at that particular position. I'm not getting into all the semantics of it, but basically Correa is an incredibly productive player, and he may be that difference-making bat that the Mets really needed. I was looking at an Adam Duvall, somebody like that. I was looking at initially maybe a Michael Brantley or a Michael Conforto, bringing him back. I didn't think Jurickson Profar was a fit because I felt the Mets needed an outfielder. And to be honest with you, I still feel they need another outfielder unless Jeff McNeil is going to play more time in the outfield, or perhaps you convert a Brett Baty or a Ronnie Mauricio or one of these guys to being an outfielder. Something like that, because Mark Hanna is not going to be here past this season, most likely. You'll have Nimmo, you'll have Marte, but you're going to have to figure something out in the outfield. But the bottom line is this: those pieces can be rearranged and shuffled however they need to be. You have to get your main pieces in place for, you know what, you got to get the steak on the table before you worry about the side dishes and the little sprigs of parsley. You know, if I could use a food analogy, and we'll get into that in a moment too. But to me, I am amazed. Steve Cohen, I love you. I would kiss that beautiful bald head of yours, and I didn't think I'd ever say that. My goodness, he committed to winning a championship in 3 to 5 years. You know, that is the expectation now, no doubt about it. And here's the thing. The Mets are going to be the most hated team now in baseball for all of this money that they're signing. Well, how about the owners, these other billionaires? How about they go out and spend the money that they have, okay, and make their team somewhat competitive? There's nothing preventing them from actually spending the money. So, you know, I was never one who really bought into the argument of being anti-Yankees. Oh, the Yankees brought a championship. The Yankees brought a championship. They had the revenue, and they had an owner who was willing to spend money, and they had a GM who knew how to spend it well. Okay, that's never been a problem, because to me, you can have all the money in the world, but you still have to make the right moves. And I feel like the Mets have made one right move after another. It hasn't been reckless spending. You know, I didn't want Carlos Rodon. I talked about that. You know, and Aaron Judge, great as he is, you know, all of that contract might have prevented some of these other contracts from taking place. Even the same story with Jacob deGrom. So to me, I got to give Billy Epler a ton of credit. I know he gets a lot of hate from Mets fans, but I give him a load of credit because I believe he and that scouting team, they went after the players that the Mets absolutely needed. Bringing back Nimmo, bringing back Adam Ottavino, signing David Robertson, Kodai Senga, on and on down the list we could go. It's been so many signings, you almost can't keep track of all of them. You know, Brooks Raley for the bullpen, keeping Edwin Diaz, of course, but adding Carlos Correa, wow. Jose Quintana, can't forget him either. So this, I believe, will be the difference-making bat that the Mets really need. Now, how are you going to arrange the batting order? That's an important question. In Buck Showalter, I trust. We'll worry about that in due time. But boy, I am one pumped up New York Mets fan today. And before I go, I got one more thing to say. Tonight, as I'm recording this, Wednesday, the Wacky Wednesday with Jeremy and Adam at the Jets Chaos channel, we are going to be doing stupid things for Super Chats. So Jeremy, I believe, will be doing hot sauce. And for every $100 donated in Super Chats, I will eat one oversized slice of pizza from Benny's down in Newport News, Virginia. These are 28-inch pizzas. For every $100 donated, I will eat one slice of pizza. So come on, check out the show. Watch me just absolutely murder my stomach, but I can't wait to do it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.